Her lips which whisper, like reeds on the wind, wet with moisture sprung from a well deep within. Whispers, like the petals of an iris, their reedy blossom which weathers and is not trodden down for long. Fell Burgundy Iris, or Moses Cleveland's Canterbury Tales, Book 8, line 2149. The toll trolls who were loathed by all, it but too soon to pay a call, so back to Jackal Mountain they would go. Of sheep and dead livestock to quell, for missing herds are hard to sell, the dogman for to find, indeed to know. Dug from her home Sabrina the gnome, wandering indeed did roam, prickly hair and personality. Demeanor like nettles be, when vexed like metal, indeed flowed she, to lowest terms reduced, no fraction be. But stable in molarity and stalwart in viscosity, but science be her jam, a genius she. Hard to hold and worse to come, the days ahead indeed be fun, would silence be her jam indeed as well. Her platinum lips ere too sublime, ere by a straw was she to dine, on deposition point indeed to dwell. A die was cast indeed to last, a mold to fill with time to pass, solid, secure, and but insurance be. No holds be barred, indeed be tarred, and fettered, be you not alarmed, no harm will come if secrecy compliant. What ills to know, impending woe, was fate to come by sword or bow, fell fate to fall on those thus unreliant. Dragon's breath and dragon's fire would up the heat, but do not inquire what flashpoints thus indeed were to transpire. Like a mind trapped in a vice, nigh boiling but not feeling nice, but led to vice and thus to be enticed. Discredit lent and to forget, hard to recall when thus was bent, to folly led integrity to dice. But brain hors d'oeuvres to be imbued, cubed and staked by pick of tooth, but head cheese for to please to be required. Finger food and a brain to pick, fine young cannibals to be fit, delicacies reserved for to abstain. The finest fare for to desire, upon one's plate for to inquire, but brain cubes caviar, indeed champagne. Refined palate but to forego, delectable indeed, not to know, but lamb and head cheese staked upon a cracker. A head thus baked to hunger sate, of fine cuisine forbidden pate, or prefer with thee a fowl or but a quacker. The brain of he was thus bequeathed, and by a skull it once was sheathed. A giving lot not unforgot was he. A wellness quest for to demean, to wellness returned thus to be. A floor to plane, nice splinters in the knee. For thus to quell a screaming joist from underground, what seeped was moist. What mold to burn, for fire yearned had he. For mold to quench, water desired, for spores to burn, indeed required. No foul intent, an ancient remedy. To scorch the joists, the answer be, what prayers were heard indeed by he. To scorch and quench by torch and wet cloth be. To scorch and quench, but to forego the burning of the house, you know, how thus it rolled with ancient carpentry. But pitch was mined at Everdeep, a shield but from the weather be, from water moisture indeed, but not from fire. But timber rhymed with pitch to be, for to alight quite easily, okay for ships to water foil required. As well for boats and castle moats, redundant well and indeed roads, of leaks to quell, no beans to sell or tote. So to the swamps of Everdeep to visit thus, and trolls to greet, but first to Jackal Mountain ere remote. A test to put to all the rest, unblooded thus I do digress, ineptitude ere ever to promote. So back to Jackal Mountain sure, what trials there for to endure, to save the lambs and sheep, and indeed goats. Upon the breadline did he dance, was Grouchy Karl, but for to lance, festered he upon swollen tongue did drool. Festered he on swollen tongue, no loud crash he, but yet no love, for he to be what had to see a stumbling, drooling fool. For to endear an egg in his beer, a shoehorn straw, but not to fear, perhaps a spoon of sugar for to please, a la Tourette for to forego, with festered eggs and spasms no, He sucked it down, but eagerly, with ease. The word went out for volunteers of sheep and goats, for not to fear, to Jackal Mountain again to be the quest. Jackal Mountain again to go, what horrors deep, but for to know. Unblooded there to be... Sorry about that. Unblooded there, but to be put to test. Unblooded ne'er to be behooved, with but their metal for to prove. But wisdom wrought indeed was sought to be. What wisdom fell indeed did dwell, deep underground indeed did tell. To seek the deep, what darkness for to see. And I'll stop right there. Hope everybody had a nice Easter. And whatever you celebrate, hope it was good. Yeah, have a good day. And thank you very much for listening.